Hey guys, I gotta tell you about an experience I had when I was 5 years old, and I remember it to this day. Anyway, here it is. So I was living on Indian Creek Road in Chatham, Ontario, and we moved to Park Ave, where I grew up. And I was 5 years old. So I was bored one summer. I was just a little kid, you know. I was bored, and I found this caterpillar in the backyard. It was one of them fuzzy ones, fuzzy caterpillar. I think it was orange. Anyway, I brought it to my mom. I go, look what I found, look what I found. And my mom goes, holy shit, it's a caterpillar. And I go, yeah. And she goes, why don't you raise it? And it'll turn into a moth. And I go, it will? And she goes, yeah. And I go, okay, well, we'll raise it. She goes, okay, you gotta go get some food for it. You gotta find some food, find out what kind of food it eats, and we'll put it in a jar, put some holes in it, and we'll raise it. It'll spin its cocoon, and then it'll hatch into a moth. And I'm like, it will? And she goes, yeah. I'm like, holy shit. So I went out, found some food. I think it was dandelion leaves, and put it in a jar with a stick. Put the dandelion leaves in, and it ate. It ate the food. And every day I looked at it, played with it, and let it walk around on me and everything. And I thought it was really great. And I thought it was fucking cool. I'm 5 years old. Why not? Anyway, so one day it spun its cocoon. And it was a cocoon on a stick. And I waited and I waited and I waited for it to hatch into a moth. Anyway, about 2 weeks later, I'm in bed sleeping. And in the morning, my mom gets up early in the morning and she's making coffee and breakfast and everything. And she screams at me. She don't scream at me. She comes to the door, opens my bedroom door. I'm laying in bed sleeping. She goes, Rich. I go, what? And she goes, your little buddy hatched. Come on, see. Okay. So I went out and I looked in the jar and there was the moth. It was a white moth with black dots on it, on its wings. I don't know what it was called at the time, but I do now. I just gotta look it up again. But anyway, I'm like, holy shit. So I picked it up on the stick. And she goes, you gotta let it go. And I go, okay. And so mom took me out to the back porch, the back stairs. And we had a railing, a black railing that you walk up, you don't slip and fall upstairs, right? And she goes, well, put it on the railing right here. So I took it off the stick, it crawled on my finger, and then I sat my finger down on she goes, don't touch the wings. Don't touch the wings because you ruin the wings. There's scales on the wings and you'll brush them off. And I didn't. I said, okay. And so she goes, put it on the black railing. And I put it on the black railing. And it crawled off my finger onto the black railing. She says, leave it there for a while. He'll fly away. I'm like, okay. So I went inside and that was it. That was it. I came back outside and it was still there. And I'm like, dude, I'm alone now with the moth. I'm like, dude, come on, you can fly away. You can fly, man. You're free to go. So I reached down and I just touched the wing and it flew away. Holy shit, that's cool. It flew away into the neighbor's yard, into a big tree. And I go, fuck, that's fun, man. That was different. But I was sad to see him go. I was like, oh well, I'll find another caterpillar and raise it again. So all day went by, and you're thinking, where's this goddamn story going? Well, I'm going to tell you. Anyway, I go to sleep that night. I wake up, and I'm laying there sleeping, and my mom comes, opens the door, said, Rich, come on. Your little buddy came back to say thank you. And I go, what do you mean? I got out of bed. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean he came back to say thank you? The moth? She goes, yeah. Your moth came back to say thank you. And I go, holy shit. What do you mean he came back to say thank you? She goes, come on, I'll show you. She took me to the back porch where we let it go, where I put it. I opened up the door, and there it was, sitting in the exact same spot as where I let it go the day before. Holy shit. I go, how does a moth? I asked my mom, how does a moth know to come back to say thank you in the exact same spot? She goes, I don't know. I go, you put it there. You put that damn moth there. She goes, I didn't put the moth there. I came out to get the milk because we had milk delivered to the house, and the moth was there. I'm going, well, holy shit. How does a moth know to come back and say thank you to me? And I'm like, how does a moth know? She goes, I don't fucking know. I go, you put it there. She goes, I didn't put it there. And she's swearing at me. She goes, I didn't put the fucking moth there. She goes, why can't a moth come back and say thank you? Why the fuck can't the moth come back to say thank you, Richard? And I'm going, because it's a moth. It's stupid. It's a dumb moth. She goes, well, obviously it ain't. And she slammed the door in my face and fucking walked in the house. And I'm standing there. How does the fucking... I'm just standing there looking at the moth, shaking my head, going, oh, this shit don't make sense. Because yesterday I touched it and it flew away. And it comes back to the same fucking spot, the same moth, white with black dots. How does that happen? I sat there, I looked at it. I just like, how does that happen, man? And the whole time, I'm feeling my seeds. I didn't know it at the time. This is one of my first seed experiences. I'm sitting there looking at it, and I can feel the seeds glowing in my heart. And as I'm looking at it, also I asked the question, how does the moth know to come back and say thank you? How does the moth know to come back and say thank you? And all of a sudden, boom, I'm in a white light. I can't see reality anymore. I'm in white light, and I see every fucking moth from here to the horizon on the earth. I can see the earth, I can see the grass, I can see the trees, but they were all outlined like black outlines in whiteness. I'm looking at a white sky, white grass, all the way to the horizon. And every insect on the grass, in the trees, wherever, in the sky flying around, I could see them all the way to the horizon. But I could barely see in the white. They were like ghost images of the house, ghost images of the railroad tracks behind the house. Beyond that, I could see through, but it was like ghost images. But what was prominent in the white was all the insects. not birds, not dogs, just insects. Beetle bugs, worm, insects. All the way up, billions of insects in the sky, on the earth, and they were all black dots. And I could see the moth as a black dot in whiteness. The moth was sitting on a pole. I couldn't see the pole. I could see the moth still sitting there, but the moth was black in whiteness. And from the moth, I looked up, and I could see every insect. And I was like, and then poof, it went away. Just like that. Lasted 2 seconds. And I stood there. I couldn't talk. I couldn't do anything. My hair was tingling. My heart was glowing. The spark of life in your heart. I had no fucking idea what just happened to me. I was 5 years old. The year before on Indian Creek, I was talking to the aliens. Here I am having this experience with a moth. I didn't tell my mom that. So I reached down and touched the moth. I go, "You're welcome." And I touched him. And he flew away to the exact same spot in the exact same tree. Well, area of the tree. In the neighbor's yard. Now I come to understand that we're all connected. Even the insects on the earth, we're all connected. We are all connected to the earth, to the bugs, to the birds, to life. All life is connected. Maybe in some way, the Creator is telling me that we're all connected. See, that was the experience. Maybe the Creator brought the butterfly back, the moth back, to say thank you. Anyway, I thought that was so cool. I found another caterpillar. Raised in a jar. Spun a cocoon. 2 weeks later, I put it in the exact same spot as the mat. In the exact same spot as the last moth, and it had the same thing happen again. Flew away, but this time, I didn't get the flash. I was waiting for it. I touched the second moth. No flash, no nothing. Because I got it the first time. And I think it was the Creator in me, the Creator of the seeds, was showing me, because I asked, how does a moth come back to say thank you? You're all connected. And it showed me just like this. It showed me it. The Creator showed me. So there you go. I've had another experience, which was a bad experience with the Creator. And I'll tell you that next after I'm done speaking on this. But anyway, I'm going to look up the name of the moth. Try to put it in the description. Okay, later guys. And the seeds were glowing. But I didn't know what the seeds were. But when I checked out, so I guess I checked out, and the seeds went, filled my head full of white light, and I could see every moth. From here to the horizon. It was fucking phenomenal. And my heart filled up, and I was like Mothman. Anyway, that was great. That happened at 5 years old, and I remember it. Never left me. Never. And I made this video in my last channel, so I just remembered it today. And I figured I'd make a video because I gotta make all these videos of my experiences. So there you go. The next creator sign was a bad one, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Okay, later, guys.